Bubble Babes, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, hi, I'm Brittany, welcome. So it is currently midnight right now. I'm super tired, which is why I have my coffee, but I was gone all day, and when I got home, I saw this baby in front of my door, which is the new Mcgrath palette, so I'm super excited. I'm gonna stay up all night reviewing it for you guys, doing swatches and everything, so if you guys want to see what I think of the new palette, then go ahead and keep watching. So let's go ahead and unbox this baby. Ooh. How do you open it? What is this? Just a random piece on there. Oh my god, I had it upside down. I'm so excited! We have some black paper in here, and then we have the palette, and it's like in this like packaging. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited! Okay, let's open it. I like the way the stuff feels. Okay, here she is. Oh my gosh, so this is the Mcgrath Celestial Divinity Eyeshadow Palette. Oh my gosh, look how big it is. It's so pretty. So this has 18 shades. It retails for $78. You could get it on Pat McGrath, which is where I ordered mine, or now it's also on Sephora. She always has really beautiful boxes, and I always want to keep them. Actually, I do keep them because I only have one palette from her, and it's the Divine Rose palette, Rose 2, I believe. Yeah, and I just don't own a lot of her palettes because they're really, really pricey, and I have to like make myself use them. I did have her holiday collection, which had like 3 smaller palettes in it, but I ended up selling it because, like I said, I just didn't use them. So the packaging of the actual product looks exactly like the box, and then it has the shades on the back right here. Okay, let's take a look. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. Okay, and then I smack it down. So it has these little ribbons on here which make it close all the time. So I honestly might cut those because I do a lot of videos and like I want to just show people, you know, so I don't want it to be like falling down all the time. And then it has this mirror right here. It looks like a pretty good mirror. And so this is the palette. Oh my god, I'm so excited. And in today's video, we're gonna use every single shade. I'm gonna put all these shades on my eyes, all 18 of them. Wish me luck, and we're gonna create a look. So let's talk about what's in here. You only get 3 mattes and the rest are shimmers, which I love her shimmer formula. I'm like a shimmer lover, more like metallic foiled shades, not so much like barely shimmer, you know. They have to be like wet looking for me to love them. So I honestly don't have a problem with it. There only being 3 mattes. In her other palette, I feel like I gravitate more towards her shimmer colors than I do her mattes. They're just kind of there if I need them. So let's go ahead and get started and put all of these shades on my eyes. So I started off with this light pink called Venison Orchid. I believe that's how you say it. These names are kind of iffy on how to pronounce, but I like that it has a lighter pink shade for a transition. Usually Pat McGrath palettes run really dark, and so there's not a lot of light colors, so I really like that being in here because I feel like that pinky color is a really good transition, which is what I used it for today. And then of course I did a big cut crease because I wanted to fit as much shimmers on the lid as I can. So starting with the shimmer up top called Lunar Champagne, that's exactly what it is. It's a true champagne. I used that under my brow bone and it looks really, really pretty. Some people might not like it for under the brow just because it does have like little flecks of glitter in it. But there is another like champagne color here in the palette, and I thought it was very similar to that one until I put it on my eye. So that's the color that I use for this like inner corner part, and it's called Galactic Gold, and it definitely has a lot more green to it than the one up here. This one still has a little bit of green. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to tell under the brow, but not as much as the one on the inner corner. It's so beautiful and so metallic. I love this color. Now, as for these other shades that I used right here in this inner part of the cut crease, they went on really, really well with the brush. I used a really small defined brush just because I wanted to put all the shades on there, and so I wasn't going to have enough room if I used my finger. Even though shimmers do go on better with your finger, they had really good payoff with just the brush, so I could just imagine like you using your finger because they will look so metallic and so wet. I did have some fallout though with the brush, so just keep that in mind. If you do go in with the brush, you might want to do your base after, depending on what you do. You could bake and just do your eyes. It's just, kind of up to you and your routine. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and talk about these copper shades that I have like in the center of my lid. So there is 3 different coppers. There's this one up here, this one in the middle, and then this one down here. Now these two, the one on top and in the middle, are super duper similar. As you guys will see, they kind of just blended in with each other right away, but this one down here is definitely different. In the pan, it looks more copper, but once it goes on the lid, it's kind of like an antique gold that shifts to green, which is really crazy. I know Pat McGrath has a lot of different kind of formulas for the shimmers, so that one's definitely kind of like color changing in my book. Now let's go ahead and talk about this purpley color up here. It's kind of like a purpley blue, super pretty. Sorry I'm not saying the names, it's just easier for me to point to the color, but I noticed whenever I did swatch this on my arm that it went on super smooth, which is crazy because it looks like it's a matte that has like chunks of glitter in it, and usually those aren't the best formulas. And the same thing goes when I put it on my eye. It went on the eye really nice. It's one of my favorite colors. It's just so unique. Like I said, it's like purpley blue and it has like pink glitter throughout it. Super beautiful. I love that shade. Then I went in with this color right here. It's pretty unique. It looks a lot lighter in the pan than it goes on the eye. On the eye, it's very like rusty and kind of muddy looking. That is not my favorite shade, but it is a good formula. It's just not my favorite color. Moving on to this pinky purpley shade. This one doesn't have any glitter throughout it. It's more of kind of like a wet looking shade. It's like foiled, but without any of the glitter, and it's super duper pretty. I love this shade. It reminds me a lot of the shade that's in the Divine Rose 2 palette that I have, and I had no complaints on that shade. It applied really nicely. And then I went into the reds, and this is where I had the most trouble. So I went in with this one over here, I think first, which is like a cranberry shade, and this one would not go on well with the brush. It was having a really hard time to even stick to the lid. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to tell. And then I went in with this more true red, and it was the same thing. I don't know if it's just because I applied it with the brush. Like I said, some just work better with your finger, but both of those reds were really hard to go on. Then I went in with the deepest colors. So this one right here is the deepest one in the palette. It does have shimmer and it does have kind of like a matte base. It's not my favorite color just because it's not that pretty. It's just like a deep kind of purpley, almost black shade. So that's one that I probably won't use that often, but if you do like smoky eyes, you'll probably like that one. But no complaints, it went on pretty nicely. Now moving on to the greens, oh my gosh, I think those are my favorite from this palette. So I went into this one called Dragonfly, and it's super multi-chrome. It's so pretty. It gives me that nice, really pretty reflect. And then I went into this like true olive shade, super metallic, super pretty, just as beautiful. And then I kind of mixed them all together right here. And to go ahead and outline everything and make sure I use all the colors, I went in with this one right here, which is kind of a deep plum. In the pan, it looks a lot lighter than it did on the eye. Obviously, you guys could see it's pretty deep on my cut crease right here. I did use it to define it, so I kind of packed it on, but this shade surprised me because it's a purpley kind of color, so I thought it wasn't going to blend really nicely, but oh my gosh, if I had any problems, like I would just kind of like move my brush like this and it would blend itself out. I noticed a lot of these like blend themselves out except for the reds, so these are really good quality in my book. And then on the lower lash line, I just mixed 2 of the mattes and I used all the shades, and that is all I did for the eyes. Obviously it's not the prettiest look because I just wanted to use all the colors and fit as much as I could on the eyes, but I'm excited to keep playing with this, guys. I feel like I really got a feel today about every single shade, which is really cool, so I might do these more often. I don't know, let me know if you guys like me using every single shade, or if you want me to create like a more of a wearable look. But this is how it turned out. So final thoughts. Do I think you guys need this mega palette from Pat McGrath? And the answer is yes. I feel like it's so unique. If you guys love shimmer and metallic colors, you're gonna love this because even the ones with like matte bases, like I said, perform super good on the eyes. The mattes blend like a dream. Like I said, the only colors I kind of had troubles with were the reds, but I feel like once you use it with your finger, you might get a better payoff. And so those are my final thoughts. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up so I can know to keep doing them. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, BritanyRaquell, go ahead and subscribe. I post every week for you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye! Where's my makeup wipe?